fastballs down the middle. That's okay. I'm going to let you get a few just to kind of get going again, okay? Before I tell you anything. There you go. Good adjustment on your own. Now, the only tip, I'm going to let you throw one more, but the only tip when you're turning to the side, getting your grip, I wouldn't rush that. Take your time and then go into the motion, okay? Hey, I'll still take that. That's okay. So let's talk about why those are a little low. At the end of the pitch, we're tilting down a little bit. I want you to try to keep that head nice and tall and let those fingers follow through. So looking just a little bit higher on Mama's glove, tall head, fingers coming all the way through the pitch, okay? For your follow through. There you go. Hey, that was better. I'll still take that. Now, one more thing. You did better on your fingers, okay? I could see that. I want you to try to stick it knee to knee just a little bit more. I know we're a little wobbly just because of puberty, but I want you to really emphasize that front side. That's going to help with your accuracy, okay? There we go. Good pitch. Very good pitch, girl. That had more speed and more spin. That's why it was harder for Mama to catch it. Alrighty, so you tell me, do you want to throw a couple of your other pitches right now for me to check down the middle, or do you want to go ahead and hit some spots with your fastball?
Spot.
Spots. Okay, so we're going to go fastball 1 and fastball 4. So low inside, then low outside.
Yeah. On the numbers, yeah, we might need a reminder because the team uses a different numbering system. So I think
I'll stay away from numbers then, just to make it not confusing on her. We'll just go low inside, then low outside.
Okay. Low inside? Yeah.
Yes. There you go. Good, Miss Sky. So now we'll go low and outside. I want you to stick that landing. Emphasize sticking it, squeeze the booty. Hey, that's okay. It was in the right slot, just a little bit lower. So you tell me what adjustment you're going to make right here. And it's not really a body adjustment. It's more of a mental adjustment.
I'm gonna try to like stick it and look a little higher.
That's what I was looking for. Look a little higher. So instead of saying I will try, I will. If you say I will do it, you have a better chance of getting it. If you say I will try, you're giving yourself room of maybe, maybe not. But if you tell yourself I am going to do it, it's going to set you in a better headspace to attack that pitch. So I am going to stick my landing and I am going to bring my eyes up a little higher. Let's see it, girl. Good answer. There you go. Beautiful adjustment. Yes, ma'am. See what happens when you say I will, I am, I can, all those things. It helps put you in a better headspace, okay? So even when you're struggling, if you tell yourself, I will, I can, I'm going to be, like, if you give yourself that positive statement, it's going to help you get out of that negative mindset. Because it's normal sometimes to think that way, okay? Because we're human. But if you say, I will try, or maybe, or sorta, that gives yourself wiggle room of like, I'm not that confident. But you tell yourself, I am confident. I will make this adjustment. I know all this stuff. I know I'll do it. Okay, so I'm proud of you. And you saw that result. That was a very hard pitch you just threw. And it was right in the location. Mama didn't even have to move her glove. You threw hard, so she moved it a little bit, but it was right on that spot. Okay, beautiful. Let's do that one more time, and then we'll go into change and drop if you want to. So back to low inside. There you go. A little higher inside, but not bad. I'll still take that. So for me, that would have been like a 2 spot. Okay, a little higher. Does your coach do a square like high, low, or just inside, outside?
It's like 1 is inside, 2 is middle, 3 is outside, and then 4 is low, 5 is high.
So if he gave you like a 1, 5, that would be like inside high.
Yeah, and then he just says a random number for the third number. But if he says 6 on the third number, that means a change up.
Okay, so does he have, what about a drop ball? Is he calling those yet?
I call those yet.
Is there a reason why?
No, I think it's probably because his daughter doesn't have a drop ball.
So here's my advice on that. If you are confident in your drop ball and you want to throw it, we need to come up with something. Just because his daughter doesn't throw one doesn't mean you can't if you are confident and it's game ready. Does that make sense? Now, if it's not game ready and you're not confident yet, then that's fine. But I think you have a pretty good drop ball and you've been working on it. Okay, I think you've been doing a good job on working on it, that you're too good not to throw it just because coach doesn't have it on the card or just because coach's daughter doesn't throw one. Okay, so I want you to say something. If you are confident in this, say, coach, what can we do with the drop ball? Is that going to be a 7 or is that going to be maybe like a flash, like the girl, like if she calls a number, if he says like the third number is a random number, if he doubles it, like 1 1 1 3 3, you know, like 3 3, like 2 numbers together is a drop ball. Like, I don't know, you can come up with ideas. Okay, whatever would make sense for you and him and all that. But you're too good not to throw it, in my opinion, just because coach doesn't call it. You got to tell, that's where us pitchers have to communicate a little bit more of like, hey, coach, I have a drop ball. And if he sees it and he still doesn't want to call it, that's on him. Okay. And then we can have another discussion about that. But if he doesn't know and you're not telling him and you're not like, hey, coach, like I got the drop ball, I need to throw it. Like I want to throw it. I want you to see it. Like if you're not bugging him about it, he just might not know. Okay. But I think you're too good not to bug him. I would bug him. Okay. In an appropriate way. I'm saying bug him, but I was always like, coach, what about my curveball? You haven't called my curveball in 2 innings. I would say it every inning. Coach, what about my curve? Or I'd look at the coach and I'd be like, like I would just say something to try to get their attention. Okay. But if I have a pitch that I'm confident in and they're not calling it, I mean, they're not setting me up for the best success. And sometimes when coaches call pitches, they call based on their knowledge and not the knowledge on the pitcher. And that's fine. Okay. I mean, that I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing. It's just their coaching style, but that's why us pitchers have to kind of coach our coach how to coach us, if that makes sense a little bit. Okay. You're going to see that because you have a lot of pitchers on your team. You have 6 pitchers and all y'all are probably on different levels. Okay. Somehow, some way, some girls might be better on this pitch. Some might be better on this. Some might throw a little harder. Some might be more accurate. Okay. And last I talked to mom, I'm pretty sure you're in the top section of those girls. So that being said, you're going to have a little bit more responsibility talking to coach of like, hey, I got a drop ball and it's good and I want to utilize it. And I'd love for you to see it more. Sound good? Let's veer in a drop ball right now. Let's take a look at it. I want to show you how good you are, that you have to have that conversation with your coach.
Can I do the spin?
Of course. Let's do 5 good spins and catches. Peel those fingers quick. There you go. I want to see that ball rotating just a little bit more. So if you have to throw it a little higher, that's okay. There you go. Want 2 more like that so you can really feel the rip off those fingers. Rip it quick. That's okay. Think fastball, look low, spin quick. Beautiful. And I have a drop ball virtual clinic this week. You might not be able to make it to the live, but if you wanted to watch, I think you're good, to be honest. I think I've taught you everything that I'm going to be going over the clinic, but if you wanted a little reminder, and you can have that video, I'll send the recordings out to everybody, or the rise ball. That might be a good one that you attend. We're not ready to learn it yet, but it might be a good clinic for you to have in the future, and you can rewatch that recording if you're wanting to just learn a little bit more about that pitch, because that's a pitch I'm excited to teach you and once we hit a little quicker in speed, that's the pitch I really want to knuckle down because that's the big strikeout pitch. Okay. So you and mama can look at that on my website. I have both of them this week. All right, drop ball. Think fast, look low, spin quick. Nice pitch. Way to start off strong, girl. Mama's gonna have to buy catching gear for these pitches. All right, let's go drop ball inside. Think fast, look low, spin quick. That's okay. So the difference between that one and the first one was more natural with your fingers. The second one, you tried to force it down. Okay, trust your spin, trust your eyes, trust your fingers. Think fast, look low, spin quick. When we try to force it, it's going to drop too soon to make it not as believable. Okay, so trust what you have and control those eyes to help you peel those fingers. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. You see the difference of the break of the pitch? That's going to make it more believable because you got to think if you're in the batter's box and you see a pitch, if you're in the front of the box and you see a pitch like that, you might swing at it. But the ones that bounce in front of the plate, hopefully we lay off of those as a hitter. Okay. It's hard to get people swinging at pitches in the ground like that. Okay. Let's do it again on the outside. Drop ball outside. Think fast, look low, spin quick. What'd you feel?
Like I wasn't like thinking fastball. I was like trying to throw a drop ball.
Yes, you forced it. You're trying to get it low. You're too good to force it. Okay, now if you go to other pitching clinics and they teach you like shorten your stride and lift on your front foot, like I don't know if you watched another pitcher do that or if you heard something like that, which is a very common thing people teach. That's not what I teach. Why? Because y'all are too good to get your body involved to make the pitch low. We want to spin it. If you didn't have the spin, I would give you a tip like that, but you have really good top spin, which is fastball spin. It's top spin. The ball rolls on top. Trust the spin, not force your body. Okay, so that's the adjustment I want you to make is thinking fastball and trusting how quick your fingers go. Okay, let's see it right here, girl. There you go. Better. Ask mama if she liked the break on that pitch.
Can you like the break on that, Nick?
Yeah.
The movement.
Yeah.
Now, mom, I guess a question I have, because these are looking good. The ones that she's throwing good, they're more, in my opinion, like an 0-2 pitch when you're ahead in the count. Do you feel confident throwing your drop ball higher in the zone right now as far as like a called drop ball, or would you rather stick with just like a fastball low than a high drop low, which is, by the way, the same exact pitch. It's just a mental mindset of how you think about it. Well, the reason why I'm asking, and I would probably say you'd rather the low fastball call at the moment, because sometimes on the drops, and you only did on 2 pitches today. So out of all the drops, I think we threw like 6 or 7 right now. Only 2 you tried to force it because you were trying to get a drop ball. But then when I got you thinking fastball, you threw beautiful drop balls. So once we get more consistent on that mindset of thinking fastball every time, then I'm probably going to transform the way you think of high drop to low drop. Okay. To also help attack. Cause like for me, if you're watching from the side, like when I was pitching in college, 0-0 count, right-handed batter, coach calls a drop ball. It's basically a fastball. Okay. It might've had a little movement, like literally like from here to here, but not dramatic that you were getting on some of those 0-2 drops. Okay. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you can't, for me to have a drop ball in the strike zone, like it has to be a little higher and it has to be right at the knees. And so that's kind of like the next goal you can have on this pitch is being able to control it, a high drop called strike versus an 0-2 drop, just so you can utilize that pitch in counts where you're behind in, so you can still get that strike. But right now, I think your fastball is probably the go-to mindset until we're more like 90% consistent on the drop ball, not forcing it. Okay. And that's just a mental reminder for you, girl, is every time mom says drop ball, catcher says drop ball, coach, drop ball, think fast, look low, spin quick. Like instant in your brain of think fastball, look low, spin quick. You make that a habit of instantly drop ball, you connect the dots right there, you're golden. Okay, because you have really good top spin. That's what I was trying to talk to her about, is the way that the fastball and drop ball, it spins the exact same way. Hers is a tight fastball. I've never seen you in person, but I can tell you throw a heavy ball. And what a heavy ball means is how quick it spins. Like and I can even tell by mom's glove a little bit, the way she's catching it, it weighs her down. And that's telling me that you have a lot of top spin. So that's why I think drop ball is going to be one of your go-to pitches. The more comfortable and confident you are in it, attacking like more at the high school, like when you're in high school. Like I think that's going to be kind of like your pitch. Okay. It was my pitch, but just by reading you right now, I think that's yours. So that's why you're too good not to have coach calling these this spring. Okay. So we got to have that conversation of whatever number that is or whatever that works out with. And again, it's up to you and your confidence. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, I do want to see you throw some change ups today so I can kind of fine tune those as well. But let's say first tournament and you pitch 1 whole inning. Okay. Let's say within that inning, you see 6 batters. Okay. If coach does not call a drop ball within those 6 batters that first inning, and you already had that conversation with him prior to the tournament, whether it's upcoming or whenever you have that conversation, hey coach, can I throw more drop balls next inning? Can I throw a couple drops? Like just keep having that little bug in his ear of like, hey coach, can I throw some more drops? Hey coach, my drops look great in warm-ups today. I'd love to throw them. Because you're too good not to throw them. And that's like kind of your secret sauce, I think, right now, especially if none of the other pitchers on your team have one. Okay. So with you being consistent and your speed's up there and you can attack that pitch, that's going to differentiate you probably from 1 and 2, number 1 and 2. Okay. And I don't want you to really think too hard into that too. You have a lot of pitchers on your team. He's going to rotate girls probably more often until it gets like deeper in the tournament and bracket play. But that's kind of something that you can keep in like the back of your mind. I don't want you to think pool pitcher versus bracket pitcher. I hate that that's like the terminology now that people use. It makes my hair go gray. I can't stand that. So Sky, if you ever hear that in one ear and out the other, I don't want you to get too high of an ego on that. And I don't want that to upset you either. I can't stand when people say bracket versus pool pitcher. Okay. I want you to think, how can you get as many innings as you want? And how can you attack the innings that you're put into? Okay. And that's like focusing on your strengths. And I just think drop's a strength for you. And I want you to feel that. I can tell you that all day long, but you have to feel that here and here to know that you can attack that pitch when you're ahead in the count. I think you'll get a lot like good swings and misses on them. And if not, then we can adjust the height of the drop ball. But I won't know that until you start throwing it in games for me to help navigate the heights of those pitches. You can't really tell with batters until you start throwing them to see. Sound good? Okay. So let's throw about 3 change-ups, then we'll do a little wrap up real quick. Okay. Let me take a look at those. Yeah, that's okay. Small adjustment. Stick your landing, head tall. Stick your landing, head tall. There you go. Way better adjustment right there. Way better on the height. It was a little inside, but not bad. That could have still been a strike, okay? Let's do that again. Let's look more outside, middle out. Beautiful pitch. Is mom happy with that speed? Yeah. We'll end on that one because that was good. I wanted to ask, I didn't know if you heard mom, were you happy with that speed of that last pitch?
Yeah.
Okay, that was really pretty, Sky. I could tell over the phone that was a good speed difference. Okay, so my tip on the changeup, I know we didn't throw a whole lot of changeups today, but again, being back in the swing of things, I didn't know if we would hit all the pitches, but I wanted to kind of just take a look at you. Your changeup tip that I gave you, what was it? I want you to repeat it.
The like thumb down.
No, but I love that. That is a tip. I didn't say that just now, but I love that that was the first one that came to mind. Okay, it was what?
Your head up and stick the landing.
Yes. Okay. Head tall, stick the landing. So mom, those are the 2 mechanical things that I really saw today. And once I reminded her of those, she fixed them, made a quick adjustment, was throwing hard, hitting her spots. Okay, so we are getting just a little top heavy on those ones that we're leaning a little bit. And I didn't say this to her, but now I'm putting it together. I've paid attention more in the change ups. When you rush your wind up, Sky, and you go a little faster on the turn to here is when we are leaning a little bit more. So the timing of what we do at the beginning helps the whole timing of our whole arm circle and our motion. So just keep that in mind too. So if mom's like, hey, we're leaning, I don't want you to think so hard in the mechanic of find the rhythm again. Okay? Because once I just talked to you, it slowed you down for a second and then your rhythm was back on track. Does that make sense? Okay. So mom, if you don't mind, when we get off, if you shoot me a little text that just says like scissor walks or the drill that you had, and I'm going to find a video that I can share with you, Sky, you're going to be like, Coach D, we've never done this drill. I did them in the past. I like the drill. To me, they don't benefit DKE or anything. It doesn't really do so much, but it's more of a rhythm drill. It's to loosen you up. But the main point of this drill, Sky, is like if this is the power line, you step over, step over, step over, step over, step over. So it's having you instantly like step over more inside to get your hips through. It overemphasizes. It's a field drill. I've never had y'all emphasize so much over the power line at your age, but my high schoolers do. So I haven't really got deep into that subject with you or even inside the membership. I do it in live sessions with my older girls, but that's how you can stand out in front of those Virginia Tech coaches, okay, as a sixth grader and show out in front of those girls as their big thing. Like if this is the power line and this is the outside and this is the inside, like where we step, okay, they are big about staying on into the inside of the power line. If they see you middle out, that's kind of like a red flag to them. Okay. And that's something I tell my girls too, is we don't want to be too far off the power line on the outside. You always have to be touching the power line somehow, some way, whether it's toes or whether it's heels. So like toes for outside, heels for inside. Okay. But that's a big thing. I just know Virginia Tech, like their whole staff is about that power line because it helps with body alignment. You got to think your spine, put your hand on your spine, your back. So that's your external, or that's your internal spine inside your body. The power line is your external spine. We want our spines to stay in alignment. Does that make sense? There's a guide about that if you watch the guide on the power line. Okay. So I would rewatch that video before the Virginia Tech camp just to give a good little spark to you because I know they're going to talk about that and I want you to be like, I know this. I got this. I can do this. Okay. It's just going to give you a little thing is going to one, give you a big boost of confidence to see, but two, it's just going to give you a little bit more. I don't know. It's going to make you shine a little bit more as a sixth grader because you are probably going to be one of the youngest. So you're going to be watching more of the older girls, but that's how you can stand out. Like for recruiting purposes. Okay. But that's how you can stand out. And they'll remember your name in the future. So I'm so excited for you, girl. I wish I was a fly on the wall and could watch you at that camp. When is it again? Because I'll shoot the head coach a text.
It's January 20th.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a Saturday, I think.
It is. It's a Saturday, and there were 2 pitching sessions. And the second one filled up, like the first one filled up, so they created a second one. So we're doing the early session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, perfect, girl. Well, I can't wait to hear
Emma Lemley.
Say that again.
We're hoping to meet Emma Lemley. That's kind of.
I hope she's there.
I said